Welcome, friends. You are watching Soul of Kindness. On this freezing Christmas Eve, the city was glowing with lights and joy. But one corner told a very different story. A millionaire single dad parked his luxury car near a quiet street. He had just finished shopping for his little daughter, hoping to make her Christmas special. But as he stepped out, his eyes fell on something that froze him in place. Just a few steps away, a homeless woman was bent over a trash bin, her thin hands trembling as she searched desperately for food. Her coat was torn, her hair messy, and the cold air turned her breath into white mist. People were passing by, pretending not to see her pain. For a moment, the man simply stood there, his heart heavy. He had seen wealth, success, and power, but in front of him was a picture of pure struggle and loneliness. Slowly he walked closer and said softly, "Miss, are you all right?" The woman looked up, her eyes filled with tears. She whispered words that would change his life forever. "I wasn't searching for food for myself. I was hoping to find something for my little boy. He hasn't eaten since yesterday." The millionaire single dad felt his throat tighten. In that instant, Christmas no longer meant gifts or lights. It meant compassion, humanity, and a chance to share kindness where it was needed most. The man's heart ached as he listened to the woman's trembling voice. For a second, memories of his own struggles as a single father flashed before him. The nights when he had nothing but fear and uncertainty, when his baby daughter cried in hunger and he didn't know what tomorrow would bring. He gently extended his hand. "Come with me," he said quietly. "No one should be out here like this on Christmas Eve." The woman hesitated, her pride fighting her desperation. But when she saw the sincerity in his eyes, she slowly nodded. He opened the backseat door of his car, where shopping bags filled with food and toys lay scattered. Her eyes widened, and for the first time that night, a faint spark of hope lit her face. They drove through the glowing streets until they reached his home. His little daughter ran out, her excitement bubbling as she hugged her father. Then she noticed the woman, shy and uncertain, standing behind him. "Daddy, who is she?" the girl asked softly. The father knelt beside his daughter. "She's our guest tonight," he explained warmly. "Because Christmas is about sharing love, not just presents." The girl smiled and reached for the woman's hand without hesitation. That small gesture, the innocent kindness of a child, brought tears to the woman's eyes. She had felt invisible for so long, yet in that moment she felt seen. Inside the warm home, the woman sat at the table almost in disbelief. A feast was spread before her: roast chicken, bread, vegetables, and steaming hot cocoa. Her hands trembled as she picked up a spoon. The man sat across from her, watching quietly. "What's your son's name?" he asked. She swallowed hard before whispering, "Daniel. He's only 6. He's waiting for me at the shelter. I didn't want him to see me searching trash." The father's chest tightened. Without hesitation, he said, "Tomorrow we'll bring him here. He deserves a Christmas too." The woman's tears fell freely now. For the first time in years, she felt the weight of loneliness lifting from her shoulders. That night, as the fire crackled and the little girl played with her toys, the millionaire single dad looked at the woman sitting quietly, holding the warm mug of cocoa close to her face. He realized something powerful. Wealth wasn't measured by money or possessions, but by the kindness we share with others. The woman, once shivering in the cold, whispered softly, "Thank you. You've given me more than food. You've given me hope." The man smiled gently. "Welcome home," he replied. And so, on that Christmas Eve, 3 lives were forever changed, not by riches, but by compassion and the simple act of seeing someone who had been forgotten by the world. The next morning, the man kept his promise. He drove with the woman to the shelter where her little boy was waiting. The moment Daniel saw his mother step out of the car with bags of food in her hands, his face lit up with pure joy. He ran into her arms, hugging her tightly. But when he looked up and saw the man and his daughter standing behind, he grew shy. The father knelt down, smiling warmly. "Hey, buddy, I'm a dad too. My daughter would love to have a new friend. Would you like to come over for Christmas dinner?" Daniel's eyes widened, then slowly he nodded. For the first time in a long while he felt safe. That evening, the four of them sat together around the dinner table. The fire glowed softly and laughter filled the room. Daniel and the little girl played on the carpet, building towers with colorful blocks, while the adults watched quietly. The woman whispered, her voice breaking, "I never imagined someone would treat us like family, especially on Christmas." The man looked at her, his eyes gentle. "You don't have to imagine anymore. Sometimes life brings people together for a reason. Tonight you're not homeless, you're home." The woman lowered her head, overwhelmed with gratitude. And as snow began to fall softly outside the window, a new chapter of hope and belonging began for them all. Story told with heart by Soul of Kindness. The snow kept falling outside, covering the streets in a white blanket. Inside the house, the warmth of laughter and kindness filled the air. Daniel and the little girl were now sitting by the fireplace, wrapping cookies in napkins as if they were precious gifts. The woman watched them, her heart swelling with emotions she could hardly put into words. For so long, she had believed the world had forgotten her. Yet here she was, welcomed not as a stranger but as family. The millionaire single dad looked around the room, his daughter smiling. Daniel safe, the woman finally at peace, and he realized this was the true meaning of Christmas. Not lights, not gifts, not wealth, but the power of opening your heart to someone in need. He raised his glass gently and said, "To new beginnings, and to the kindness that makes us human." The woman's eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "You didn't just change our Christmas, you changed our lives." And in that quiet moment, surrounded by love and hope, they all knew that this Christmas Eve would be remembered forever. Story told with heart by Soul of Kindness.